No, don't echo. Okay, welcome back everybody to Marble It Up. Just kidding, shit. Marble Blast Gold! Oh, good.
Yeah.
We are playing Marble Blast Gold, and it's a really harsh level, this one. And, I'm Ryan Sear, and this is... Who are you?
This is Diana, aka SmolsNoodle.
And how do you pronounce that? Is that SmolsNoodle? Is that SmolsNoodle?
I say it's SmolsNoodle, but you can say SmolsNoodles. Or
That sounds better.
What, SmolsNoodles?
Yeah.
You can do that. I'm playing this game. I turned the Wi-Fi off on my computer so that I can play the little, I could play the little dinosaur.
Oh, the Google Chrome? Oh, yeah, the Chrome dinosaur?
While you're playing Marble Blast Ultra.
No, it's not Marble Blast Ultra. See, you get it wrong, too. Points deducted from Gryffindor!
Gold. Marble
Yes,
Blast
thank you.
Ultra Gold.
Yes.
Like my trinkets, like the box for my trinkets.
Box of my trinkets!
All my trinkets.
George Washington be like, a box of my slave teeth!
Oh my god. It's so weird how, like, you grow up and you're like, oh my god, he just, like, chopped cherry trees.
I wonder,
And, like, did, like, the revolution. What do you wonder?
Oh, I have to, This is insanity. This is straight insanity.
Like, we grow up and we're like, oh, he chopped a cherry tree. He served in the British Army against the French, and then, oh, he's now, like, the Continental...
The ally of the French.
Yeah, like, now he's, like, in the Continental Army, and now he's doing, like, all this stuff. And it's so weird how, like, his slaves aren't, like, really mentioned at all until, like, you get a little older, and like, oh, yeah, no, he had, like, thousands of slaves. And at one point put a bounty because one of his slaves, like, escaped. But, you know, he was a fine man, whatever, it's okay. He started the country, what more do you want from him? And then you get older and, like, you learn, like, oh yeah, so, like, those wooden teeth that we all told you he had, that was a lie, that was actually slave teeth. And you're just...
It's so effed up. It's so effed up, because it's just like... How does he not think that those are cursed? Like, that's how you know. That's one of the ways to really be dehumanizing, is to not give another culture's people the same, like ghost and burial ideas as your culture's people, right? Because if that was me, I'd be like, no fucking way. Like, my jaw is now haunted by, like, slave ghosts. But he just was like, well, no, they're not people like us, so they're not gonna haunt us with their ghosts.
Well, and one of the things that helped with, like, the dehumanization was Christianity. Because, like, slave owners would be like, see this passage in the Bible? We're supposed to have servants, you know, we're supposed to have this. And then it, like, you know, that's why, like, you know, it was perverted and stuff. But it's really interesting how we learn, like, when we're younger, like, oh, George Washington was this great man. And it's like, yeah, this great man also was terrible. Like... it's always so, like, I don't know, like, it's always so weird how, like, he's put on this pedestal. The same with Abraham Lincoln. Like, a lot of people like Abraham Lincoln, and, you know, I mean, it's fair, he did free slaves, but the only reason he did so, because he didn't free slaves until it was convenient. Because he was like, he had this thing where he was trying to bring the Southern Saints back, and then he was like, oh well, now I'll free the slaves since they're not coming back. Like,
they ain't coming back, yeah.
But it, you know, and then people are like, oh well, the Civil War was about states' rights, and it's like, states' rights to do what?
Right,
state rights to do what? What to own?
To have a Krispy Kreme.
To, like, you know, this isn't like Revolution War. There's no, like, mass, like, hysteria about taxes. Like, what state rights to do what? To own a farm? No. To own human beings. Like, it's about slavery. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
But it's always so interesting how, I don't know. And in Thomas Jefferson, that, like, for some reason absolves them of everything else. Like, with Thomas Jefferson, it's the independence, it's going to Paris, you know, with Ben Franklin. With George Washington, it's the quote-unquote creation of America. And it's like, you guys can still criticize, like, they're dead. What are they gonna come back? Dude, they'd hear a car and have a fucking heart attack. Show a woman wearing shorts, and they're dead immediately.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think they're gonna do? Crawl back from the grave if I dare you guys?
I fished! And I qualified too.
Oh, that's awesome. Because I know you're having trouble with that.
That level was bullshit! I love how I have you talking. It's so good.
Well,
I got you Tolkienite.
Well, no, because like my mom once took me to a museum, and there, you know, and I was learning stuff. And there was one part of it where I was talking about like Confederate soldiers, and there was a book, and you could write, you know, to soldiers or whatever. And I sat there and said, "I'm glad you're dead. You suck." Like, I have no sympathy for Confederate soldiers, because you were fighting to own people who are naturally born free. I don't know what you want me to do about that.
So I do think that the whole, like, fighting for states' rights thing is obviously about slavery. Like, no way, it's not.
Yeah, well, because it's like, because when you look at it, and like when you put it in a thing, it's like, okay, which states, you know, we're fighting? Oh, the southern states.
Fuck?
The southern states are really big on slavery.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, what else are they fighting for? Tobacco taxes?
Yeah.
Like, cotton taxes? Like, no.
I completely, yeah. One thing I do think is maybe ambiguous or ambivalent is obviously just the soldiers themselves. I mean, do you really think every soldier who fights in a war is someone who totally believes, or are they rather being conscripted and it's more of like a, well, you know, this was the hand I was dealt? Like, I wonder if a lot of soldiers have, you know, a lot of that hand I was dealt mentality. Because that's usually what happens, because, you know, the state goes to war for one reason, but then soldiers go to war for other reasons, right? Like,
well, the thing is a lot of soldiers, when they go to war, they believe in the cause. People are like, oh, well, not every winter woman brings that up. I'm like, they were, and in the North had slaves too, they just, you know.
What the fuck was that shit?
It's not talked about as often, but the Confederacy, the reason why I don't believe, like, it's, you know, that some of the soldiers, because people do that with Robert E. Lee. They're like, he didn't want to fight for Virginia, or the Confederacy, but Virginia was his home. And it's like, okay, so let's bring up the Germans who went against Hitler and helped Jewish people escape, but they didn't become Nazis.
Yeah.
They didn't, like, I'm like, he could have easily said, shit, no, I don't believe in this cause. I'm gonna be a general for the Union.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Like, he wasn't, like, he didn't trip and fall into a Confederacy general, like, thing. He accepted it, like, fully conscious, fully sober.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's like, oh, there's a few bad apples in the police.
Oh god. Oh god. Ah!
I love how I'm having this, like, discussion and you're, like, dying.
Yeah, at this point with you, it's really just more of a rant. Which, you know, I'm fine with. I'm fine with, because I need someone to talk right now.
No, I'm just, it's like, it's one of those things where people are like, oh, well, there's a few bad apples, and the police aren't all bad. And then they do that, but they do that with Confederate soldiers. It's like, oh, not every Confederate believed in slaves. And I was like, you mean everyone seceding?
Freaking fuck!
And forming a quite literally treasonous state?
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, and like, here's the deal. If I was Union, I would have totally enjoyed killing Confederate soldiers. Like, that would have just been fun. Like, why not?
That or you die of dysentery, because no one knew how to wash their ass in that time. They're like, oh my god, so many people are dying of disease. What do we do? Wash your hands.
If it was dysentery, wouldn't it have been food?
So it would...
By using the fan air, and it's like, no, bad. Because it's like, there's not enough going on in that way. Fun. Oh, and then of course on the way end of the ledge here, like, you could just get knocked off. There's so much going on. Look both ways? Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. There's so much going on. Yep, yay, more of that, yay. Ooh, okay, cool. So now now it's like, because the mines kind of help you, I guess. But there's just so much, like, and how, like, I wonder if I can just, like, set some of them off so they're not here anymore. I don't have to worry about them. Oh man, but they do, they hit a little bit though. Oh my god. So what game you playing? Oh, what game you playing now though?
I'm trying to play Medieval Sims.
I just, on the purple, come back, purple, come back! Is the Sims starting or no, or?
Oh, I'm starting it now. Yeah.
When the night falls.
Yeah.
This song's taken a little bit from Stand By Me. I just, no, that's not what I just. I keep falling into the primordial pit. The primordial pit of cave water. Oh my god. Oh yay, fun. Okay. Oh my god.
So, but yeah, I'm trying to actually log into Origin again. So.
This part right here is actually stupid. This is stupid. What are these things? We do not need. Do not need. Too much. Too much. You know, I feel like, at least in Marble It Up, they had the decency to have your guy explode when that happened.
I feel like they should add a mechanic that, like, is like the bowling alley that we got.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you dead.
Yay.